Okay, so looking at this view, this view is all about the points B, C, and the Z-axis to start off the orientation of it, okay? So how we're going to do it is I'm going to use my set squares, set it up parallel to the line CB, just like so. I'm just going to draw a line parallel to CB out basically just as far as I choose. So I have plenty of space on this page, so I'm going to draw a line out there. Just double check, yeah, they didn't move. Now I'm going to project the line out in line with or parallel to the Z-axis. I'm going to project C out. Okay, so parallel to the Z-axis, and I'm also going to project B out. And what you'll see me do now is in your question or your exam question, you'll see this semicircular detail. Okay, so now we want to draw that semicircular detail. We've set up the line where we want it, and now we just have to draw that. So how we do that is we simply just bisect this line from that point to that point. So distance greater than half on your compass. Okay. Once you've bisected the line, I want you to actually just draw that semicircle. This should all be kept as nice construction. And now all you want to do is extend out your Z-axis to intersect that semicircle. Okay. So that is my Z-axis and this is my X-axis. So now I have just extended out B and C parallel with the Z-axis. I've drawn a line parallel to CB to intersect both that point and that point. I've bisected this line and drawn a semicircle touching both ends of that line. And then I've extended the Z-axis out to intersect it. And what that gives me now is that gives me a 90-degree angle that I can orientate this elevation at. So from there, and if you can see there, I've set this set square up perpendicularly. That gives me a perfect 90-degree angle here that I can orientate and draw this elevation at. Okay, so the heights and all the distances that I've been given for this are, okay, so this point here is going to be the center point of my backboard. So if that's the center point of my backboard, I'm going to take the left half of it and just double it out. That gives me the full width of my backboard, so I'll take up perpendicular lines from that. Heights are 40 and 10, so I'll just measure up to 10 millimeters first. Measure up 40 millimeters beyond that. And take construction lines across. We're told that this is the center point of the arc, which gives us the backboard up to this point here. So that's the distance I need for that arc. So I'll harden that in. And now I'm going to harden in that 40 millimeter section here. And here. And then 40 millimeters either side. So 40 millimeters in the middle piece. So I'm just going to measure 20 millimeters to the left, 20 millimeters to the right. I'm going to harden that in. That gives me that. And then just setting up my angles. And that's good. So going ahead now with the end view. So in line or parallel to the x-axis, I'm going to project out point C. Point C and point A. I'm going to draw a line parallel to AC out as far as I want. So this is parallel to it. And I want to bisect that line. Okay, so bisect it. Just the same as we did on the opposite side. Drawing your semicircle. And extend out your x-axis to intersect that semicircle. Where it intersects, that gives you your 90-degree angle setup. There, and I'm just setting up my set square so you can see that it's going to be perfectly 90 degrees. So now we have a 90-degree angle there. Now, heights. So we know about the 10 mil and the 40, so I'm just going to measure up the 10, put a dot, 40 from there, put a dot. So that gives me the 10 millimeter height here and the additional 40 mil. So now we have that point, that height there, and this height here. And now we don't have the overall height of this drawn. Sure, the overall height is of course the radius of the curve. Okay, so this radius that we use to draw the elevation, well, that is the actual exact height of this drawn. So we just have to take that radius and mark it there. And now I can harden in the end view of this backboard. And there it is. So I'm just going to put a clear dot at the 10 and the 40. So 10 plus 40, so that's 10 and 50 millimeters off the bottom point if you want to look at it that way. Okay, so now I'm finished the elevation, I'm finished the end view, and now it's a case of starting to draw the easy parts of the trimetric projection. Okay, so when I say the easy parts, I'm talking about the 3 lines at the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, the 2 side lines, and the actual square, the center of the backboard. The hard part's going to be the curve. We'll do that last. Okay, you can use points. You can label this drawn using points if you wish. I think most of you won't need to do that. So this point is going to be the bottom line of the backboard. So from this point, I'm going to take down the 2 bottom points to intersect with that. And the easiest thing for me to do here is just set up my adjustable set square. So that point, taking it down parallel to the z-axis, slide it across. There we go. So that is the bottom line now hardened in my trimetric projection. Moving on, I want to get this point and this point now. So those 2 points are at the 10 millimeter height. So parallel to the x-axis, I'm going to project down that 10 millimeter height. So these 2 points are going to be on that construction line. Let's find out whereabouts exactly. That point is exactly there, which I'd be hoping for on the y-axis. And there. So there and there. So let's join them up. Next, I want to draw these two vertical lines. So they go up to a height of, to this point. So I'm going to take that parallel down with the x-axis. And because they're vertical is still parallel to the y-axis, so I can just draw that up parallel to the y-axis from here and from here. And while I'm at it, I know that from these 2 points, the square is within the limits of, so above these 2 points and between these 2 points. So I have all the information of the square, so I can just draw in the construction lines and harden in the square very, very easily. Yeah. Yeah, take it up to me. So I'm going to divide this curve up now and pick points, apply the points and draw the curve. So I'm going to put my protractor on in line with the baseline of this elevation. Center point of the protractor and the center point of the baseline. And I'm just going to mark 60 degrees both sides. So 60 degrees there and 60 degrees there. So I'm just going to draw, don't even need to draw the full construction lines, but just so you can see, that would be a 60-degree angle there and a 60-degree angle there. And of course, I'm going to draw a vertical line too. Vertical would be parallel to this angle here from the center point. And the purpose of me doing that is just to get points on the curve that are equal on both sides. So if you want to label it, I could go with, ABC's already used, I could go with just that's point 1, this will be my point 2, this would be my point 3, my point 4, and my point 5. So if I was to transfer those points across to here, well, 1 and 5, so there's 1, 5. 2 and 4 we haven't transferred over yet. 3 will be the top point. So now it's a case of just transferring over the height of 2 and 4. Now, I want a vertical height. So from 2 or 4, because they're both exactly the same height, I'm just going to drop a vertical construction from 2 or 4. In this case, I'm going to use 2. I'm going to record the vertical height from the ground line of this elevation up. So if you want to see it there clearly, that's the height I'm going to record. And I'm going to apply it over here. So that gives me now the exact height of the point 2 and 4. So now all I have to do is just bring the appropriate points down. So 1, so we already have the point 1 in my trimetric projection. 5 and 5. So there's 2 out of my 5 points located. I'm going to bring down the heights now of the points 2 and 4. And while I'm at it, I'm going to bring down the height for 3. So 2 and 4 will both be located on that height line. And 3 as well will be located on that height line. So now I have my adjustable set square set up for this part. Bring 4 down to the 2 and 4 line. Bring 3 down to the 3 line. And 2 down to the 2, 4 line. And that gives me point 2, point 3, point 4, and point 5. Now, as always, if I'm going to freehand sketch in that curve, I'd always like to just do a little pencil sketch of it first, just to kind of get a good idea for the curve. So from 3, always try to draw your top line tangential to the line that we've used to get it, so tangential to that top construction. Through 4, and finishing at 5. Likewise, from 3 through 2, finishing at 1. So once you're happy with your pencil sketch, then go over it with a more permanent visible colour or shade of pencil. There we go. So that's part B finished.